How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on installing a new diamond drive in my Arctic Cat Snow Pro F8. So let's roll that intro and get into it. Alright guys, so there's a lot of videos on YouTube about how to remove a diamond drive from an Arctic Cat, but I haven't really been able to find anything on reinstalling one. I'm assuming it's the same process but in reverse, but I've actually never done this before, so I'm going to try and work through it on my own here and see how far we get. But this here is my old diamond drive. Basically what happened is my reverse actuator here got stuck. I guess it seized up halfway between drive and reverse, and as soon as I blipped the throttle a little bit, it made a terrible grinding noise and it basically grenaded itself. So because this thing failed, that caused my entire diamond drive to basically shred itself inside. It looks like a blender in there. So I ended up picking up this used diamond drive. It has a little bit different gearing and it has a different style reverse actuator. This is actually an OEM Arctic Cat reverse actuator, so I'm hoping it's a bit more reliable than the one that was on here previously. These are all used parts and I'm not sure on the mileage, but I did pick them up from a reliable source, so I'm hoping that they're in good condition. So I had a look at the oil inside this one. The guy I bought it off of said that he did change it, and he did use actual Arctic Cat diamond drive oil, so I know it's the proper stuff. And the oil looked very clean inside. I didn't see any debris on the magnetic drain plug, so I think this one's going to be in good shape. I didn't feel like taking the whole thing apart, just because then I would have to try to put it back together again, and that could be a bit of a process. So I just want to run what I got here, and we'll see how far we get. All right, guys, so I got the diamond drive sitting out here, and this is basically where it's going to go. So when I had removed it, I ended up putting all the nuts back in their place so I wouldn't lose them. So basically I'm going to take all these nuts out, set them aside, and then I think it's just a matter of pushing this into place and trying to get the splines lined up. So I think that's probably going to be the hardest part, is getting the splines lined up properly and getting it to slide into place. But I'm going to give that a shot now and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so here's where I'm at right now. So this is actually pretty simple. I slipped the diamond drive in there, and as I was trying to line everything up, I kind of just wiggled this shaft here, and the splines actually lined up relatively easily. So now before I push it in any farther, there's this plastic or rubber spacer that you got to kind of slip in behind. So if you push it in too far, it's going to be very difficult to do, but it just kind of slips in like this, and then we can push it in the rest of the way. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it all the way in. We're probably going to have to start bolting from the other side. But yeah, this actually went a lot easier so far than I thought it would. So I'm going to keep pushing, and we'll see where we get. Oh, I can hear snowmobiles in the distance, just teasing me. Okay, this is where we're at right now. So I basically pushed this in as far as I can now. I don't want to force anything, so I think the next step is going to be trying to get the bolt in from the other side in the drive shaft, and then by tightening that, it should suck the splines in the rest of the way. If I look under here, because the track is loose, and I turn the spline up top, I can see that it's moving. So that tells me that the splines are lined up and they just need to be tightened fully. So I'm going to get to the other side now and see if I can get that bolt lined up, and we'll get that tightened, and that should suck this in the rest of the way. Okay, so I'm on the other side of the slide now, and basically through the brake rotor there is a 16 mil bolt, and that's what connects the drive shaft to the spline in the diamond drive. So basically you're going to need some extensions and a 16 mil socket. And what I did when I removed the diamond drive is I left the bolt in there so I wouldn't lose it. So I'm hoping it's still in the hole that it's supposed to be in, and that I should be able to thread it quite easily. So I'm going to get started on that. We'll see if we can get that tightened up, and then we'll see. That should be it for getting the diamond drive seated, and then the rest will just be bolting it down. Okay, so that bolt feels tight now. I'm gonna run to the other side here. And yeah, it looks like we're fairly seated now. So we're basically where the diamond drive is supposed to be. So now I think we can put our nuts all the way around. I think we're supposed to tighten them in a crisscross pattern, just so that it evenly seats against. Okay guys, so I've gone over all these nuts now with a ratchet after the impact, and then I went around to the other side and then just double checked the bolt on this side to make sure it was tight, and it is. I don't know what all the torque specs are supposed to be on these because unfortunately I don't have a repair manual, but I'm just kind of tightening them to where I feel comfortable. So everything is tight now, so the diamond drive is in. It's just a matter of putting everything else back together. So when I removed it, I had to loosen off the track, so I'm gonna have to tighten the track back up. And what I ended up doing is I marked the threads with a Sharpie so that I knew exactly where to tighten it back up to. So I just got to tighten that up, and then it's just a matter of plugging everything in, putting the secondary clutch back on, and belt. I think we're good to go. Alright guys, well, when I fired up the machine, I tried putting it into reverse, and I could hear it click into reverse, and then when I tried to put it back into drive, I could hear it click again, so I'm assuming it went back into drive. Only problem now is that my reverse beeper did not engage, so that makes me a little bit nervous. Either my reverse beeper sensor is broken, or it's not actually fully going into reverse, which is the exact same problem I had before. So I'm a little nervous to try and actually drive the machine because the same thing might happen again. I don't know what to do at this point. I might just have to send it and see if it works. But I don't think I missed any steps. Everything seems to be working as it should, other than that reverse beeper. But either way, guys, that's how you install a diamond drive. I don't think I missed any steps. Everything went back together smoothly, and it actually went a lot easier than I thought it would. All right, guys, so quick update on the machine. So later that day, I actually did get the guts to take the thing for a ride, and I tell you guys, perfect. Everything worked as it should. After driving it around the yard a couple of times, the reverse sensor started working again, and it was actually displaying reverse on the screen, and the beeper was working. So everything is perfect, and we're good to ride. So if this video was helpful, definitely give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment below if you guys have any advice for me on what to do from here, and definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already. We try to put out a video every week, and we do a lot of car stuff and racing and stuff like that. So if that interests you, definitely subscribe, and we'll see you next time.